We are now officially in May, which means Slam Dunk Festival is happening this month. So obviously today I'm going to give you the top 6 bands that I am most excited to see at Slam Dunk this year. Alright, starting with Icy Stars. This is completely a nostalgia band for me. I've not really listened to them much in the last decade. I don't really know any of their newer stuff that they've done sort of beyond 2013, 2014. So this one will really just be for the nostalgia and hoping that they do play some of their older stuff. Obviously, Icy Stars are an electronic core, metalcore band from back in the good old emo and scene days. We all know it, most of us lived through it. This was one of those bands. I think they're definitely best known for their album Digital Renegade, and specifically the single Filth Friends Unite. What an absolute banger this is. I love this song. I really hope they do play this one at Slam Dunk, maybe a couple of the other oldies that I might know, but other than that, I don't really have that much to say about this one because I don't really know what they've been up to for the last 10 years. I might need to check that one out a little bit more and get back to you on that one. Next up, we got Dream State, a band that I've kind of been an off-on fan of for the last few years. Never really considered myself a massive fan of this band, but I like a few of the songs here and there. I think it's actually about time I checked out this band live, and because I don't have that many bands on in the earlier half of the day, I think this will be one of the best ones for me to go and see. I think I was definitely a bigger fan of this band back when CJ was the vocalist of this band, but since she left the band, I've not really listened to that much of the new stuff that they've released with the new singer. Nothing against them, I just haven't got around to it yet, and I think that's another thing that I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks, because from what I've heard from them in the past, you know, specifically the song White Lies, they are just a great modern post-hardcore alternative rock band that is very enjoyable. Alright, now we're on to the main 4 for me. This is where it gets a little bit clashy for me, where things get a little bit dangerous. I'm gonna have to be doing a little bit of fast-paced walking from stage to stage just to make sure I can see at least a bit of each of these sets, because they all just happen to be very much near the top of the festival slots, so, you know, it's a hard one, but I'm gonna have to do it. So next up, we got As It Is, a band that I have talked about quite a few times on this channel now. I've already seen them live a few times in the past as well. Just a great pop-punk, emo, post-hardcore band that I have been a fan of for so many years now. I actually discovered this band through watching the lead vocalist, Patty Walters, on YouTube videos back in the day. He would post a lot of covers on YouTube covering a lot of songs that I was a big fan of at the time. Then I sort of just discovered his band, As It Is, as they were really up and coming, releasing their first album, Never Happy Ever After, and that is the album that they're going to be playing in full at Slam Dunk this year. If you're a fan of As It Is, you'll know how much of a big deal this one is. The fact that nearly all the original members of the band have gotten back together for this as well, it just means so much. You know, it's almost back to how it was in 2015 when this album came out. I cannot wait. Next up, we got Electric Cowboy, another stage headliner that I'm gonna have to race for. I've recently only really gotten into this band. I didn't really understand the hype for this one at first, but I've been listening to them a lot over these last few months and I've really become a big fan of them. I absolutely love their most recent album, Techno. Obviously that is the album that really made this band blow up, that really did make them famous in the metal scene. They're very well known for their electronic core, metalcore, and crossing that over with EDM and dance music, you know, gym workout music. It all just works so well. They're one of these bands that are just great at putting all this together, and it sounds great. It really is enjoyable. I cannot wait to see this band live for the first time, and I think they're definitely one of the biggest ticket sellers of this year. This is going to be such a good time. Next up, we've got Neck Deep, one of the greatest pop-punk bands to ever exist. I highly underrated this band for so many years. I really didn't give them a chance. I think they're just such a good time. Their songs are all extremely enjoyable, uplifting, energetic, just everything I want to be hearing in a pop-punk band. I'm a massive fan of their newest self-titled album, Neck Deep, as well, so I can't wait to hear them play a bunch of these songs live as well. It's going to be such a good time. Seriously, every album they've released has been absolutely solid, pop-punk anthems through and through. This is absolutely one of the best bands that Slam Dunk could have booked, and I'm so excited that I finally get to see them at this festival. And finally, I think you all know where this one is going. The band that I am most excited to see at Slam Dunk this year, it is the big and long-awaited headliner, A Day to Remember. What a fucking awesome booking. This band belong at Slam Dunk. They are just one of the absolute kings of the pop-punk and the metalcore scene, and combining the two together and just creating so much amazing music. I cannot get enough of this band. I'm having a massive A Day to Remember phase right now, especially since they've just released their brand new album, Big Ol' Album Volume 1. I've been obsessed again. That album is so cool. It absolutely blew me away with how good it actually was. This is so cool, and I feel like I've been waiting for this one for quite a long time now. I think this band were due to play either the day before or after Slam Dunk in 2020, but when all that got cancelled due to COVID, that was, you know, that was a massive loss, because that was going to be just a great couple of days anyway. But now they're back and they're actually headlining. It makes so much sense. You know, the fact that I'm going to be seeing As It Is, Electric Cowboy, Neck Deep, and A Day to Remember all back to back, It's just going to be such an insane few hours. Obviously, we can all expect an incredible set from A Day to Remember. I'm sure they'll still be playing a bunch of their older, more legendary stuff from Homesick and What Separates Me From You. You know, it'd just be criminal for the band to not include a bunch of those songs on the set list. And this is easily going to be one of the best Slam Dunk headline slots in history. We are all in for an absolute treat. And it really is just going to be A Day to Remember. So yeah, that is the 6 bands that I am most excited to see at Slam Dunk this year, and the 6 bands that I recommend to you the most that you should see this year. I'm not going to lie, a lot of this lineup isn't really for me, or it's a lot of bands that I've never heard of before. There's quite a few on there that I'm still yet to check out, so for the earlier part of the day, I might just be walking around a little bit more, checking out the rest of the festival, which is always a good time as well. Seeing a bunch of the smaller bands on there as well, giving them a chance, you know, it's what you got to do. But for the later half of that day, absolutely stacked. I can't wait. I cannot tell you all how excited I am for the festival season to kick off once again. Even though I only really do Slam Dunk and Download, that still feels like a mini festival season for me, and the biggest events of the year for me usually. So if you are going to Slam Dunk this year, specifically Slam Dunk South, I hopefully see you all there. Obviously, say hello if you do see me. I'm always happy to interact, you know, grab a picture. That sounds really vain and sort of celebrity statusy, but I'm just going off what's happened in the last couple of years, that's all. There's been a lot more pictures. There's been a lot more people wanting selfies in the last couple of years, so I'm just going off that, alright? I always get quite a few people saying they were too scared to come up to me, too scared to say hello. Honestly, don't be scared. Just remember, almost 10 times out of 10, I am going to be more socially anxious than you are. I have massive social anxiety, and this is just a place where that almost disappears for me. I don't know why, but it just does. I just manage really well, so yeah, please come up to me, say hello. The only time that I'm really not going to be up for doing that is towards the end of the day, where I'm sort of rushing from stage to stage and need to actually catch the bands that I've actually paid to go and see there. So, you know, apart from that, please, I hope to see a lot of people there this year. So until then, got a bunch more content planned this month. May is always just the biggest month of my channel. It's the lead up to Slam Dunk, the lead up to Download. It's all starting to happen again now, and I'll see you real soon for more of that.